The most fun part of FPL is discovering new talent and finding those hidden gems before anyone else does. This is my hidden gems tier list for the gems, the high potential and the underrated players. They're all very low owned and can do amazing. The gems here are players I bet none of you have ever heard of until every FPL content creator has mentioned them 100 times already. I like it. But Morgan Rogers was a player brought in by Emery in January, starting almost every game and was scoring almost every other game. You may well be saying good evening with all of his points, as he is incredibly underpriced at 5 million. If he starts, I reckon he will. And he's definitely worth having as your first sub, in my opinion. Maybe not starting, but having him first in your bench ready to come in when he is doing well again, yes. Nkunku is world class at blowing balloons, but FPL have given him a massive price drop, almost as if he was terrible last season, but he wasn't. He was just injured. So now he's back. He has the potential to make an absolute mockery, a tomfoolery of that price, and also potentially starting up front, even though he is listed as a midfielder. A gem. I know he's the only one here that is highly owned, but for his price, you just need him in here. Howard, Bellis, and FaZe aren't the greatest of picks in general, but they are starting defenders that are guaranteed to start and for only 4 million. So they're not the greatest for points. They might even get minus points, but you would like players on your bench that are just going to play just in case you need them. So you might as well chuck them there, and you know you're guaranteed you've got some minutes if and when you need them. You might not need them. Then we have the potential section. Young up-and-coming players that have potential to really flex their stuff this season. Omari Hutchinson and Mavididi were standout players in the championship last season. I know I'm a championship merchant. And I feel like at some point in the season, we will literally be gagging to get them in our teams for that price because they could do very, very well. Alex Scott and Wharton have the potential to become some of the best midfielders in the world, according to Football Manager. So at 5 million could be very sexy if they have that breakout season you're expecting them to. Colwill and Barco could also be really good options for that price in that defence if they start. So I probably wouldn't have them in for game week 1, but definitely add them to the watch list as they have that potential. The underrated players are players that could go and get all of the points but are currently super low owned. Slide could be more attacking than ever this year under Arne Slot and could be that Liverpool cover over Salah if you don't want him. Brennan Johnson is literally Gareth Bale regen, locking down that winger spot for the Spurs and is always involved in the goal, so is a great price at 6.5 million with some good fixtures up start as well. Wood, Muniz and Armstrong could very well compete with the likes of Isak and Watkins at points in their season. Not the whole season, but at points. So for their price, could be the exact players you need to get that squad balance right. Semenyo, he's just here for the vibes, to be fair. He was a good goal-scoring player last year, so I've just chucked him in. Then the avoid section. Ooh, all players that could do well at some point, but right now for game week 1 looks very unlikely, and they don't even look likely to start. So yeah, can't do well if you're not playing. They could also take up a Chelsea, Villa or another team's spot, which, you know, is not really wasting on your bench for a player that's not even going to play. So no point having like a Lavia. You might need that Chelsea spot because you never know. You might want 3 Cole Palmers. You can't do that if you've got Lavia. So if you own any of these for game week 1, it's just going to be the biggest of the big boy. Unlucky. That's going to be it for my hidden gems tier list. The list of players that could get all of the points but are either super cheap, super differential, or not many people are talking about them. That's going to be all. Let me know if you like the looks of any of them and are any of them in your team right now. Thanks for watching, and also remember,
don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.